Hello, Fear Hippie here is here, and today it's time to see what appears in the latest DBD news. Um, so recently the FNAF chapter it came out. I've had a little bit of time to play as Springtrap. I had a little bit of time to play against Springtrap, and I just kind of want to talk about the launch and how it's really going. I also recently watched the FNAF movie last night to kind of get a better perspective of things. Um, okay, so first thing, the killer, I will say he's probably, I would rank him from the 15th strongest killer to the 20th strongest killer in the game. He has a lot of good things going for him. He know he's very very strong in the 1v1. His axe gives him a lot of damage potential. Him being able to go undetectable and kind of teleport behind people allows him to get those early chases a little bit easier. Doesn't affect higher ranked players as much because we kind of have an idea where he is. However, if he stats on some undetectable perks on top of that, I can see him being much better. Um, so with that being said, like that is really great. It also helps that when he throws the axe at somebody, he can come up to them and grab them, immediately pick them up and put them on his shoulder, so he doesn't have to go through the down pickup animation. It doesn't take as long. And also I believe it gives him a little bit extra learns than what a normal hit would do. So that's really really good. Um, the downside though is once survivors figure out how to use the cameras, he's gonna become weaker. Because they'll start revealing his aura while he's chasing other survivors, kind of like how you would dedicate one survivor to being the person to pick up trapper trouts, or one survivor to take armor tapes, or one survivor for pinhead bots, and so on. Eventually, people are going to be the camera, the guys, and that's going to help people last in loot longer. That's going to help people run them better. The ads is still like you have to be careful with it because a lot of times the spring trap will try to get you in an animation a lot. There's not much you can do at that point, unfortunately. Um, so you really have to do some crazy predictions. Use those tall wall jungle gems best you can, and use your exhaustion perks to go along with it. Um, Another thing too is like his doors do give him a sense of map mobility. However, eventually survivors will start figuring out the doors for themselves. They can't change numbers like Springtrap, but they can walk through it. They can go for unhooks a little bit easier if the Springtrap's already in chase with no survivors, so there's no risk of getting grabbed out of the security room because he can grab you out of the security room. Um, so I'm hoping people really catch on to that and start using them. Um, the doors also are bugged. I believe they already hot fixed it for a PC, but they haven't hot fixed it for console yet. It kind of give you a time frame, a date of when I'm recording this. Um, but if you walk free as a console player, you will actually have an audio bug where your left and right gets reversed and your front and back get reversed. So it makes tracking him extremely difficult. And very, very hard to manage, unfortunately. The other thing about that too is he also has another bug when he comes out of a door. He's supposed to have like some type of animation to go along with it. He did have that on a PTB. However, right now he's just popping in. He's popping in, no animation, nothing. He's very it really can catch you by surprise, especially if the door is turned the other way. Um, but yeah, I'm hoping those bugs get fixed, and they probably will. Um, let's go to something I dislike. I dislike that we do not have a survivor. Um, even if we didn't get any perks for Survivor, I still feel like if you announce a chapter a year out, you should have make it a full-fledged chapter, not just a killer and mat chapter, because it feels half-assed. It feels like they really didn't put any effort into the Survivor. I wanted to play as the security guard. I really didn't care if he came from video games, if he came from a movie. I wanted to play as a security guard. Um, there are some cosmetics, like David has a cosmetic that kind of looks like a security guard, but it's not the same thing. Um, I also feel like they could probably, if they really wanted to, they could have done some awesome Survivor perks. Kind of change up the meta. There's still like a lot of different Survivor things you can do in the game, and they just haven't been doing it. Like, I think it would be cool to have almost kind of like a reverse. So Springtrap released a perk called Phantom Fright. It basically causes a survivor to scream and reveal their aura, so the killer can easier track them. The counterpart to that is Scene Partner. It works exactly the same way, but just from a survivor side, so the survivor sees the killer aura. I feel like they could kind of did the same thing with the survivor perks, honestly. So what I would like to see is Springtrap has a perk that makes gates gradually go down. I would like to see a perk that causes a gate to gradually go up to like 99, so you can like heal at the exit gate and do all this really cool stuff. Maybe even make it affected by leader, just to save time. I think that'd be an interesting perk. I think we'll have a lot, just be one of the filler perks I have, and just bring more variety to the game. May not the strongest, but hey, it's there. It's a counterpart to another part. It brings variety to the game. Another part they have is Springtrap. He hits a gen, he compromises it. If they complete the compromised gem, which is now a new type of perks, compromised gem perks, it gives him a reduced cooldown after his M1 attacks. I would like to see maybe survivors having to create their own compromised gens where they have to get a gen done. They have to set it at a certain percent, and then if they complete that gen, they get a bonus or something. And maybe even make it so it takes longer on hit cooldowns, not as much as killer. But give them something to slow down the killer that will also incentivize tank builds, because we need some goddamn tank builds in DBD. And then I think that would be a great thing to have. As far as like a third perk, I'm not sure off the top of my head, but I'm sure there's plenty of different perks that could use counterparts. I'm very, very disappointed we did not have a security guard, because it's half-assed. They could have done better, especially having a full-fledged year. But I will go back to the things I do like. The things I do like, not only do I like the killer because he has a lot of different perks he can use, he has a lot of versatility. He's not too weak, he's not too strong, he's just right. He's the freaking Goldilocks, perfect porridge, whatever. The other thing I do like is I like the map. The map, I know some people don't like that it's based in the Greenville realm, but I like it. I feel like if we were to have any realm for Five Nights at Freddy's, it would be in the Greenville realm, because the Greenville realm is a very entity heavy presence realm, and it kind of makes sense. The Unknown and Dredge are both from there. They both are very, very powerful. I like how they picked a powerful realm for Five Nights at Freddy's. The thing I don't like about the realm, about the map, is they could have done more. They could have made outside parking lot for Five Nights at Freddy's. I feel like it's kind of strange they didn't. I I know it builds upon the memories, especially for those realms, but I would like to see something a little more. Like, it didn't have to be like chock full of details or anything like that, but it could have used something. It could have been so much better just to have a damn parking lot, and I'm disappointed it didn't. Um, as far as like the actual inside part of it, I really like it. I like how there's multiple entry points. There is a god leap in there, which is quite strong. I still need to figure it out. And it's a little hard for me to gauge pre-running because the killer can come from so many different directions and Springtrap can go undetectable. So it's actually a pretty good mount for them, especially how there's big open areas outside of the actual main building. Um, so I will say that it's pretty well designed. I also like all the references. It has a lot of references in it. From Foxy being around. I believe if you hop out one of the lockers, you can find like a cupcake that crawls out, which is straight from the FNAF movie, which I think is cool. He's probably in the games too. I just haven't ever seen the cupcake too much in the games. I mainly play FNAF 1 through 4. Never really had much interest in the other games. And I never really understood the point of adding lore to FNAF. It seems like adding lore to Pac-Man. It's a simple game, you don't need too much lore. But after watching the FNAF movie, I'm like, okay, I can see why you would kind of want to add lore, because it seemed a little bit more interesting. Um, but yeah, there's God Loots in main. The shack itself is pretty good. Um, I feel like it's a pretty decent size for most killers, so that's pretty good. The animatronics turn on after you complete main gym, which I think is a nice touch. I feel like more mounts need that. You complete a gen and then everything starts turning on. I feel like every mount needs that. I know there's a lot of them like Leary's and the game that have gates and machinery that moves around. I want to see more of it. Just give me more of that. I know Greenville also has a movie theater. I think it's the coolest shit when the mounts, you do a gen and then stuff turns on. Also how it does the little rock show and then like a big thing of golden glitter. I think it's cool. I like it. I enjoy it. I also think they made the right casting with Springtrap. Matthew Lillard, I believe, plays his part very good. I mainly remember him from Scooby Doo. I wish we had a Scooby Doo reference in DVD, and I wish we had a Scooby Doo collection more than anything in the world. Um, that would be like my next thing on the list is Scooby Doo and Goosebumps. I want children's horror and DVD, because that's my first introduction I got into horror. Um, but yeah, I think that's. I feel like there's one more thing I meant to talk about, but I can't remember it right now. It's probably come back to me when I take a little break. And I'm gonna be making some more videos here in a little bit. So I hope y'all stick around. I hope y'all have a great time, and I will see y'all around. Bye bye.